So I got a Wuben E7 from the company. They sent me one. And when I first looked at it online, I thought, man, that's a cool little form factor, easily fits in your pocket, not super heavy. But when I first got it, I was kind of confused. Like, how the heck am I going to use this? Now, I never claimed to be the brightest kid. I'm really not. But after probably about 3 to 5 minutes of messing around with it, I realized what I could do with this light. And really, I'm a moron because it's kind of genius. And it's not just one thing. It's kind of a lot of things. But stick around, we'll talk about it. All right, so the fine folks at Wuben sent me another light. And I had seen this before they sent it to me, right when they first announced it. And it kind of caught my eye. I was very curious. But I'm going to subject it to the full test. Spider Copera, by the way. Haven't seen this one out in a minute. I thought I'd drag it out. It's still one of the best knives I've got. Love this knife. Compression lock. S30V, it's a little older, but nevertheless. Anyways, yeah, so this Wuben, it is a smaller light. I think this probably would be good for pocket carry, but like I said, no idea. This is brand new to me. Packaging seems a little nicer than the previous light I tested with them. Man, look at that little boy. Look how small. So this is seriously pocket or clip. You could get a headband for it if you want. Please remove the battery insulation sheet before using it. So I'm assuming that's down here in the bottom maybe. Yes, and there we go. So it's the insulator. Interesting. So the thread's not anodized, they are O-ringed, so I'm assuming this thing is waterproof or at least water resistant heavily. So we'll screw that back down. I'm going to read the directions, but I'm not going to subject you guys to me reading the directions. And I'll talk about the controls and all the other stuff in a second. And obviously I'm going to need to charge this. Let's see, there's the charging point, USB-C, gotta love that. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to read the directions and then I'm going to come back. So I'll cut this part out. But instruction manual. And let's see, this has got to be the charging cables and other thingies. Oh! Am I too dumb to open this? I might be too dumb to open this. Nope. Maybe, possibly. I think, yep. My intellectual capacity has been exceeded. There. So these accessories, spare O-rings, lanyard, probably going to be the charging cable. Oh, interesting. The charging cable is springy. That's the first springy charging cable I've ever seen. I've never seen one of those on any other light that's ever gotten shipped out. I don't need it. I'm going to put it back in the package. But nevertheless, pretty neat. So like I said, I'm going to read the directions. I'll come back to you. So hang on just a second. All right, so first, before I even get into the controls, I want to weigh this thing. I'm kind of curious. 2.8 ounces, very light. I don't think that I can really convey just how small this thing is. So if we hit it once, that turns it on. Hitting it once again turns it off. When you turn on, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little indicator here. If it's solid blue, it's higher than 90%. If it's flashing blue, it's greater than 50%. And then we start getting into the reds, and that means it's probably time to charge it. While it's on, if you hold it, it goes to medium, goes to high, then goes back to low. One more touch turns it off. If you have it turned on and you double click, you get turbo, which is the extra bright. Any touch turns it back off. And it has memory mode, or mode memory. So if I go to medium and then turn it off and then turn it back on, it goes back to medium. So that's pretty cool. In addition, if you have it on and you triple click it, then you get the epilepsy mode. Single press goes back. If you want to lock it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, it gives you flashes, and then so this is what you do if you want to put it in your pocket and you don't want it to activate accidentally. Oh, If you hit it 4 times again, it'll obviously click off again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so, and then press, long press, nothing, it doesn't activate. But if you go 1, 2, 3, 4 again, it turns back on. So that's how you lock it out if you don't want to deal with that. It is magnetic. Apparently I'll test that, and I'll test the lumens and the lumen cooler later. I'm going to charge this thing one good time so that when I'm getting brightness numbers and everything like that and some of the other B-roll, we'll have it fully charged. So we'll give it a good opportunity. If this is anything like the other Wuben that I got, the lumen ratings were actually underrated on that other Wuben. Interestingly enough, the other lumen ratings on that previous Wuben that I tested were less. Like, I got more in reality with that light than what that light actually gave me. So super bargain. Anyway, stay tuned for the tests. We'll come back at it in a second. Okay, so since you can't have a flashlight review without beam shots, here I am in the basement lab. And this is the low mode. It is 5 lumens, and I don't know if you can even see much. It is really kind of more suitable for if you're not trying to create a huge light signature and disturb anybody. So that's low. If I go up to medium, now we start to see something. And this is a little more suitable for area search or looking around for something where obviously you're not as worried about light signature, but you're not trying to blast or you're trying to save battery. And then if we go to high, we start to get a little better. Like I said, much better at this point. Like I'm getting all the details of the stuff in the distance. Far wall is about 8 yards, by the way. And then if I go to turbo, much brighter. And you know, the claimed, what is it, 1800 lumens? I'm seeing more like 1500. That's okay, it's not a problem. Like I said, this isn't really a tactical light. I'm not trying to blast away, but at the end of the day, this is a pretty useful light. And then we can just go back to the low mode, or I'm sorry, that's off. That's, I think, the high again, low, medium, high. I'm not gonna bother with strobe. Nobody needs that like smoke in their life, but that kind of gives you some idea of how this light performs. I don't think I'm gonna bother with an outdoor set of beam shots. You know, you're really not gonna get a lot of distance out of this light. It's not really a thrower. It's just a nice broad beam and suitable for all sorts of illumination tasks, but not really any type of dedicated search or tactical light. But I really do like it, guys. All right, so what are my conclusions about the Wuben E7 and what did I figure out? Well, let me get into some of the specifics. 1, I tested it for water resistance. It certainly was no big shock there. 2, when I went to my lumen testing outfit, the one that cost me about $40, so take with a grain of salt any numbers I give you. The claimed number in low was 5 lumens output. My testing apparatus put it at 5.54, so slightly above. The medium claimed output was 150 lumens. I measured 127. That's the most I could get out of it. Close, it's close. The claimed output at high is 400. My measurement, 368 lumens. Once again, close. Turbo mode claimed 1800 lumens, and the best I could get was 1523. And it started sliding pretty fast. If you go by ANSI standard, probably closer to, I want to say around 1380 to 1400. But the measurements aren't the real story, not when it comes to this. This is not a good handheld light, it's an okay handheld light. But where this really excels is what you can do with it. Obviously, you can put it on a headband, and if you want to spend another 10 bucks, Wuben sells a headband kit so that you can use it as a headlamp. I think that would be really useful for roadside emergencies and endeavors. But between the magnet and the clip, guys, what's really awesome about this is where you can put this. Guys, you can stick this on a waistband or a belt. You can stick it on a shirt pocket or shirt collar. You can stick with the magnet to your tool chest, under hood. It sticks very nicely. It's a very strong magnet. Or to the side of your workbench if you have metal frame on your workbench. I put it on all sorts of stuff, including some goofy stuff. Obviously, if you have a backpack strap, it works really good for that. You can stick it on your dog. One time, I even snuck up and stuck it on my wife. Seriously, the sky's the limit. Anywhere there is a strap, a pocket, or a band, This clip will allow you to place this light anywhere. And it's super lightweight. It charges really fast. And in terms of overall battery life, on the lower settings, it really doesn't eat up a lot of battery. Now, obviously, if you're crushing higher outputs, you're definitely going to see some reduced battery life. The real thing with this, guys, is it is a super useful everyday everything light. I think you could use this for working on your car, working in the shop, going for walks. I would put it in a pack or a bag or a pocket. I would lock it out first, of course. But once you do that, guys, it's kind of always with you. It takes a standard 18350 battery. Wuben says to only use their battery, and I think that's a standard manufacturer disclaimer. I haven't tried any other batteries besides the one it came with, but it is a standard 18350 size battery. If you want a bigger or longer lasting battery, you can get an extender that goes with this. So you can use a 18650 battery, and obviously those are pretty common everywhere. So if this is not enough output for you and you want something a little bigger, or I should say runtime isn't enough, you can get more juice. For what really costs somewhere between $25 and $35 in most venues, this light is excellent for what it is. I may start giving these out as little party gifts or stocking stuffers. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. Don't let the lack of output fool you. I think this is a good all-around light. Good for you, good for your friends, family, spouses, kids, whatever. And it doesn't break the bank, reasonably durable, reasonably waterproof. Overall, guys, there's a lot to recommend with the Wuben E7. I will leave you here. I'm not going to go any further into this because it's a light. It does light things, but its overall usage is pretty cool. If you have liked this, guys, actually, please do hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe for more EDC style content that includes things like guns, knives, basic preparedness, occasionally fitness. I appreciate you watching this video. If you absolutely hated it or there's something else you'd rather see, please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. Let me know. I always read your comments, and if there's any questions, I'll usually respond to the best of my ability if I have any clue as to the actual question you're asking. Guys, take care, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.
Get 'em, Jay.